Trump's tariff idea started by buy now on Amazon. Hold on to your seats because this roller coaster ride is going to get bumpy. We all know by now that Donald Trump's tariffs have wreaked havoc on the economy. But did you ever wonder how he got the idea in the first place? Well, strap in, because the origin story is as ridiculous as the policy itself. Back in the 2016 presidential campaign, Trump didn't exactly have a strong economic team advising him. So, he turned to his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and asked him to find someone who would back up his protectionist anti-China views. But instead of calling up respected economists or financial experts, Kushner did what any good family member would do. He went on Amazon. Yes, you read that right. Jared Kushner browsed Amazon, found a book called Death by China by Peter Navarro, and decided, this looks good. Navarro, a self-styled trade expert, has long been an advocate of aggressive tariffs and trade wars with China. The book, along with its alarming title, seemed to align perfectly with Trump's desire for a tough stance on trade, so Jared hit buy it now. But here's where it gets even more ridiculous. In his book, Navarro cites an expert named Ron Vara, who supposedly backs up his views on tariffs. The problem? Ron Vara doesn't exist. The expert is simply an anagram for Navarro's own name. So, not only did Trump's economic advisor come from an Amazon search, but his expert was made up to sell the narrative. Economists have roundly criticized Navarro's views. The Cato Institute, for instance, has called his trade policies misguided and dangerous. They've also described his economic theories as spectacularly economically ignorant. That's a fancy way of saying that Navarro's ideas are not just wrong, they're dangerously wrong, like a toddler playing with matches near a gas station. And if you're wondering how this all worked out, let's just say it hasn't been great. Since Trump pushed through these tariffs, the U.S. economy has seen massive disruption. In fact, reports say the tariffs alone could contribute to a loss of $7.5 trillion in national wealth over the next 10 years. The market's already showing signs of the damage. As of Friday, it lost $6 trillion in value, and this morning, it's down another 1,400 points. It could easily lose another $6 trillion today. As CNBC's Jeremy Siegel from Wharton put it, this is the worst economic move in 95 years. Meanwhile, the Financial Times said, this is for a psychologist to work out, because economists can't. But it doesn't stop there. It's not just the tariffs. Trump's budget and economic policies combined could balloon the national debt to over $70 trillion in the next 20 years, up from the $36 trillion it stands at today. This is the cost of Trump's economic misadventures. It's no surprise, then, that polling from Reuters shows widespread disapproval of Trump's economic handling. A majority of Americans disapprove of his job performance overall, 52%, and his handling of the economy, 52%. On international trade, 52% of Americans are dissatisfied, while a staggering 57% disapprove of his handling of the cost of living. The Trump administration's competence is also under fire, with 52% of people calling it incompetent at running the government and 56% finding it incapable of downsizing the government without affecting vital services. So, as the market continues to crash and Americans feel the weight of these misguided policies, one thing is clear. Trump's economic decisions, shaped by a made-up expert from Amazon, are leading the country straight into a financial disaster. If you're feeling the stress from the economy, you're not alone. There's a 60% chance of a recession on the horizon, and now is the time to rethink unnecessary spending. Talk to your family, explain to your kids why this is happening, because at the end of the day, it all comes back to Trump's broken promises. He promised to lower grocery prices on day one and fix the economy. Instead, we've got a mess, and he's burning America to the ground. If you're feeling overwhelmed, reach out to someone you trust or even download the BetterHelp app. You don't have to go through this alone. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share it with a friend. Trump's